Jacques Villeneuve thinks F1 is too safe. Others disagree. James Allen reports.
Formula One has all the advanced medical facilities you would imagine for a sport as dangerous as this. A medical centre, fully equipped, and a helicopter for taking drivers whose injuries are too severe to be dealt with on site. They're very high standards, the highest in the world, raised by one man, a London-based neurosurgeon. His name, Professor Sid Watkins. In the paddock, he is known simply as the Prof, but many drivers know him as the man who saved their life. Formula One cars nowadays can withstand the most enormous impacts. That's a development over the last few years. What effect does that have on the driver inside? Has that changed much?
Well, the stronger that the cars are, and the more energy that they can achieve, because they've been getting faster all the time too, then the more problems there are for the driver in the cockpit. Because in the event of an accident, A, the car stops, B, the driver's body wants to go on and is then stopped, and C, his internal organs still want to go on when his external skeleton, as it were, has stopped, so there are internal stresses.
Nothing is left to chance, and the Prof ensures that all the local doctors are up to scratch.
At every circuit we have at least 2 teams who are specially trained for this particular extrication. And the teams are in special vehicles out on the circuit. They're called to the scene of an accident if necessary. And at every circuit before the race, we hold a FIA extrication exercise so that the local teams can be familiar with the current Formula One cars, so that we can give them some tips if we think they need a bit more help with regard to their technique.
Doctors always talk in a very matter-of-fact way about terrible injury and even death. And I know that you were particularly close to Ayrton. You can't have been very matter-of-fact about that. It must have hit you very hard.
It did, yeah. It did.
What were your feelings when you realised that he was in big trouble?
Well, I was just sort of upset that I hadn't persuaded him not to drive, as I'd tried hard, but I thought to myself, perhaps I didn't try hard enough. So I felt it was a bitter shame that it had happened. And I was a bit cross with myself that I hadn't leaned on him more heavily.
Before any Formula One car hits the track, the Prof inspects the circuit's safety standards. He works closely with the drivers and the governing body.
Good morning. All well? Okay? Okay. Thank you.
Formula One can never be 100% safe, but standards are very high. Too high, according to Jacques Villeneuve, who reckons that danger is a key element of the sport.
Racing and tracks are at least 10 times safer than they used to be, so I think it's time to slow down a little bit on that side and not destroy what racing is all about.
Well, I think he's young, you know, and full of balls, and that's the sort of thing you expect him to say. When he's older and a bit more mature, perhaps he'll be thinking differently.